YouTube family? Mount Vernon Kid is back. How's everybody doing again? And to continue, like with the shows I watched, don't think I don't watch Transformers Prime. I like the show, Transformers, right? I have to do a couple of recaps, so I'm gonna do actually a recap for episodes. Let's see, episode 7 and 8. Episode 7 is entitled Scrapheap, and episode 8 is entitled Con Job. And then I'm going to do later episode 9, which aired this Friday. Okay, so first let's start off with episode 7. Episode 7, which aired February 18th, it basically we see Bumblebee and Bulkhead. They're in the Arctic. They're finding a Cybertronian pod. They bring it back to the base, and Optimus and RC later go on patrol in the Arctic. When later on, like Raph comes over to the Autobot. The humans, they pretty much come over to the headquarters, and Raph, he finds a tiny little robot. He shows it to Bumblebee and Ratchet and Bulkhead, and they freak out. Oh my God, they go all crazy, and they explain what the little creature is. It's called a scraplet, and what these little things do they're like Cybertronian termites, but instead of wood, they eat metal. And once this little creature sees the rest of the gang, they flip out and they show all their teeth. And they start biting. And one of the Scrapples actually attacks Bumblebee. Until later on, like they kill that Scrapple. Well, what happens is the Scrapples are basically causing trouble all over the base. Like, they find that Cybertronian pod that they had brought back from the Arctic, and they found out that it was actually a Scrapple trap, which was basically that landed in the Arctic, which they thought it was like something else. So while RC and Optimus in the Arctic, basically communications there's no answer coming back. So pretty much RC and Optimus are stuck in the Arctic, and pretty much like humans, over time even Autobots can suffer the consequences of extreme cold weather, and we start to see that later on in the series. The Scrapples are causing havoc in the base, taking it on all the rest of Bumblebee, Ratchet, and Bulkhead. Bulkhead is like extremely scared. He's like screaming like a little girl and everything like that. I thought that was funny. This episode was really like a comedy relief, pretty much, to get away from the the main topic of the Autobots and Decepticons going at it. So pretty much it's up to the humans, which I know a lot of people seem to don't like the humans. This episode really focused on, okay, this is a job for Raph, Miko, and Jack to fix. And pretty much they do fix. And they send the Scrapples, they use the ground bridge to send them back to the Arctic. Sorry about that, got an email. And pretty much they Bulkhead is used as a distraction, and he runs into the ground bridge to the Arctic, and then he tells Optimus and RC, who is heading to the ground bridge, to duck, and the Scrapples get easily frozen from the Arctic, and they die. So back at the base, Ratchet and Optimus talk how the humans are pretty strong, just because we're kind of feeble in body, like our bodies can easily be hurt and everything like that, but in spirit we're strong. And in the end, Miko saying, "Yeah, we're not. I'm not scared of anything." And then all of a sudden, the final scene, they show a spider, and Miko pretty much freaks out and screams, and then it ends right there. But the episode, like I said, Scrapheap was okay. It wasn't bad. It was meant to be funny. We got to see some more of Cybertronian creatures that I don't think we've seen in any of the the Transformers Legacy. So Scrapheaps were pretty interesting indeed. Okay. So, moving on, guys, we move on to the next episode, which is entitled Episode 8, entitled Con Job. And this episode actually had one of my favorite Autobots in the show. For all those that are huge Generation 1 fans like me, this episode had Wheeljack in this. Yeah, Wheeljack was in this episode. And it seems that him and Bulkhead are good friends. They work together in the Great War. And pretty much the Autobots get receive a signal from a spaceship which is entering Earth's solar system. And the owner, like I said, was Wheeljack. Wheeljack and Bulkhead, they go ways back. So Bulkhead he talks about how him and Wheeljack had many good adventures. They were a part of this Autobot warrior fighting group known as the Wreckers, which is kind of cool. But lo and behold, Starscream is basically receiving this signal as well, and decides to send a Decepticon known as Makeshift on this mission. And Makeshift gets to Wheeljack. Well, he doesn't get to Wheeljack. He pretends he's Wheeljack, and they set up a trap to learn to get inside, to locate the location of the Autobot base. Basically, Wheeljack came off cool. He was like this samurai kind of character. He had 2 swords, and it was really cool to see that. Who we thought was Wheeljack, it was actually Makeshift. From there, when Wheeljack arrives somewhere on Earth, basically, he's attacked by the Viacons, the cons, who they thought was Wheeljack, but it wasn't. Then they show the real Wheeljack, who was captured by Starscream and held prisoner. I thought Starscream was gonna kill Wheeljack like he killed Ironhide, right? Who did Rock play? Wasn't it? Well, whoever the Rock voiced, I'm forgetting who the Rock voiced. But I thought he was gonna kill him at first. But it turns out he didn't kill him. Cliff Jumper, thank you. That's who The Rock played. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to mess up with the names. But he didn't kill him. They used him. They kept him as a hostage. Sorry about that. Got another email. And pretty much they enter who they thought was Wheeljack into the Autobot base. From there, Wheeljack Bulkhead, who thinks is the real Jack, is telling all these stories and everything like that. He's introducing the gang to Wheeljack. But lo and behold, later on, things start to go a little bit haywire while the real Wheeljack escapes from Starscream's army. And later on, we start to tell Bulkhead starting to get a little suspicious of the Wheeljack they think they have. Bulkhead, getting tongue-tied, people. Bulkhead tells the Wheeljack to tell a story of what happens, the Wheeljack, who is actually Makeshift in disguise, tells the story, but it's incorrect. And then basically they Makeshift in disguise grabs Miko, and next you know, that's when we see Wheeljack enter the base, and a fight goes on between the two Wheeljacks. Wheeljack did his thing in this episode, I must admit, and in the end, Makeshift is defeated, and pretty much the Autobot location of the base is safe. Bulkhead says that Wheeljack, you should stay here with the team. I thought it was going to be that too. I thought Wheeljack was going to stay. Fortunately, he says, you know what, my ship is ready. The skies call me. Let's go out and look for more people. More new adventures. In the end, Miko takes a picture for as memories, and the episode ends there. But it was real good to see another Autobot outside of the original 5. So hopefully we'll get to see more Autobots outside of just Wheeljack. Maybe we'll get to see Ironhide or Hound or Mirage, or people like that. Sidewinder, or no, not Sidewinder. Excuse me. Silverbolt and people like that. It'd be pretty cool to see. But it was good to see Wheeljack. He looked cool. The only problem I have with this is people with masks, like Optimus and Wheeljack. Now they're able to detach their mask. I like them with their mask always on. That's my problem with it. So other than that, guys, episode 7 and episode 8 was really, really okay, especially episode 8. I really enjoyed Con Job with Wheeljack. It was really good. 7 was very funny. It was for entertainment wise, just to be funny. Oh, excuse me. And episode 8, Con Job, which had Wheeljack make his debut on Transformers Prime, excellent. You guys tell me what you thought of the 2 episodes, episode 7 and episode 8, and I will be back with episode 9 recaps / review. But other than that, tell me what you think. And I apologize for that. I got an email.